right, here we are. It is Monday evening. Back to work tomorrow for me. I'm still at work, and I'm thankful for that. I'm grateful for that. I have every intention of going in, hoping that the workload is such that I can bust my ass this whole week and acquire a fat paycheck in the end for next week. Because I don't know how long this is going to last. And business has slowed down for us. Business has slowed down amidst this current crisis. But I had off Saturday, Sunday, and today, Monday. So that was sweet. Now, in exchange for that, I work tomorrow, Tuesday, through Saturday. So every other week I have off, 3 days in a row, which is sweet. And then, I have to work that Saturday after that. And I have off Sunday. But anyway. I'm sure nobody's really interested in that. So, let's talk about the white elephant in the room, the virus, right? COVID-19. What do I think? Well, I think I don't want to catch it. I've heard people say that it's, some people think that it's over-exaggerated. Some people go so far as to think it's just a cold or the flu. Normally, everything that I talk to you guys about on here, I have first-hand experience with. I didn't just read it or hear it or see it. I experienced it. Things that I've experienced. That's why, when I talk about, for instance, that something like L-carnitine is an incredible tool for fat loss. When I tell you that, and then you flip over to somebody else's channel, which is science-based, and they debunk everything, and, they're, some type of position themselves, some type of brainiac, and they tell you that, the studies say it has no benefits for fat loss and all this. Yeah, but that's because of the way that they tried to employ it in the study. Of course, it doesn't work like that. It's not the way I use it. So that's where these things fall short. People don't get the whole story, and then they think they know it all, right? There's fatal flaw there, for that example, and it hasn't got shit to do with shit else, I guess. But for that example, the L-carnitine, you take it for fasted cardio in the morning. Take a nice big heaping serving of L-carnitine, and get on a treadmill 15 minutes after that, fasted, and then you tell me, I dare somebody to tell me that they don't sweat their balls off doing that. Or maybe they don't have balls to sweat off, but either way, tell me you didn't sweat your ass off. Exponentially more than you normally do without it. So that's how it works, and that's what it's good for. But the studies that everybody cites to debunk this, not what I'm saying, but to debunk that it's any advantage for fat loss, is they used it as just throughout the day or whatever the hell. I don't know what the fuck they did, but they didn't use it that way. Meanwhile, everybody else, the actual people that get cut up and get lean and bodybuilders who have used it for decades, that's the way we use it, and it works. Enough said as far as I'm concerned on that topic. What else do I need to know about it? So I stick to talking about things I know and have experienced. I don't just read something and say, hey, guess what I just read? Things that I've experienced. And I haven't made a video up till now about this COVID-19 shit because I don't have any experience with it. So what am I going to tell you? Just conjecture what I think. I don't have it. I don't know anyone who has it. And right this minute, I don't know anyone who knows anyone who has it. So, what am I going to base even conjecture on? I don't even know if the information that I'm getting is misinformation or disinformation or whatever have you. So, sometimes it's better to be quiet and be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. You know, some people say, I've seen people say that, oh, it's just a flu. Well, you know what? I don't even have to know anything more about it than what everybody else generally has heard. And I can tell you right now, I don't want it. I don't even want the flu. I don't want to be sick at all. However, if I have to have one or the other, and I get to choose either the flu or this COVID-19, give me the flu, because that's already a known entity to me. You know, the devil you know, better than the devil you don't. I do know this. When people say, well, the flu kills so many more people. The flu's been around since when? Some version or another, since when? You know, forever, right? How many people have had it? Right? Like, how would you even come up with a number that was valid? You know, I've had the flu before in my lifetime, for crying out loud. The thing with this new virus, it's new. It's a new kid on the block. Give it time. If it gets that out of control, give it time. And then there are people who are relatively healthy now that have been hospitalized because of it. And, you know, of course, if you have pre-existing, you know, then you would expect it's going to be really harsh on you, just like the flu would be. But there are other people that are healthy or seem healthy or young, and they get it, and it seems like it's not much at all, right? So where do you fall? Where do I fall? Don't know. Unknown. Maybe there's some type of genetic factor here, you know, that somehow is going to influence the severity of how it will affect an individual. Don't know. But I do know that there's a greater likelihood that if you contract this, that you're going to go to the hospital, end up in the hospital, than there is if you contracted the flu. So that's what all the fuss and hubbub's about. And the other thing is this that people don't give any thought to. If everybody is sick, then who's turning the hamster wheel? Think about that. That's the big thing. If everybody's sick at once, who's turning the wheel? For example, now we're starting to see some repercussions from this, from that type of scenario. You know, how far will it go? Who knows? But where it is right now, there are police departments that are not responding to certain types of calls anymore because they just do not have the manpower. They can't afford to do it. Having officers who have tested positive for it come down with it. Texas, for example. What is that, Plano, Texas, I believe. They closed down their precinct, their station house. They are operating out of the city library because they had at least one officer test positive. Dallas, the police department in Dallas has also had at least one officer test positive, and they've already released a statement that they will no longer be responding to certain types of calls. They will not be responding to vandalism, to car break-ins, or to shoplifting calls. They will not respond. So they've already announced this. And they're not, you know, that's not a precedent right now in this country. There are other police stations and agencies that have said similar things, come out and announced similar things. So this is what I'm talking about. If everybody's sick, who keeps turning the wheel? The wheel has to keep turning. If the wheel stops turning, what happens? Nothing good. Nothing good. So that's what the big fuss is. You know, if everybody's sick, nobody's turning the hamster wheel. And then things do get bad. Basic shit like utilities, law and order. I mean, certain elements amongst us out there in society have a criminal intent. Not you, not me, but they're out there. And now if your penchant for criminal activity was such that you were a shoplifter, for example, if the police department came out and said, we're no longer going to be responding to calls about shoplifting, seems like open season for you to go out and practice your criminality. Same for these other crimes, right? So how far does that go? Will that happen? There's no doubt in my mind it'll happen. Okay, it's going to happen once or twice or here or there, right? Okay. Utility companies. What do you think? Power just stays on by itself without having any kind of requiring any maintenance or monitoring or anything like that? What happens? A huge storm breaks out, power goes down, and nobody's there to turn the hamster wheel. How do we turn it back on? Who makes the repairs? If all these processes become slow, you see hospitals are already bearing a really heavy burden to the extent that almost field hospitals are springing up. FEMA's involved. So, if you extrapolate that out a few weeks from now, if it's not managed, if it's not controlled now, then where does that leave us? Okay? Me? I'm good. You don't have to worry about me. This is guerrilla with a cause. This is guerrilla central. I'm in deep here, and I'm more of a doer than a talker, believe it or not. I know I talk my share, but I'm a doer, and I'm prepared for any such eventuality that sooner or later could happen. I'm prepared. I have food, I have resources, extensive networking. We're not going without anything, nothing. Power goes down, I got generators. I have 2 wells on the property. Got water, plenty of game, if it even was that protracted an experience. Plenty of food, period. Plenty of food. People that know me and have been here can attest. Any given moment there might be 30 jars of peanut butter here. There might be cases of tuna fish. It might be, a lot more shit than your has sitting around. So I'm fine. For me, this asking everybody to chill out and sit home and all this stuff, it's fine with me. I'm a homebody, man. I like my home. I like the woods. I'm good here. There's a lot here for me to do. I got a lot done this past 3-day weekend for me. So it's like a vacation to me. If they shut it down tomorrow, I'm okay. I'm okay. So it's not me that you need to worry about. I'm good. And you can, bring it on even more and turn up the heat, and I'm still good. So, but what I want to know is, all these Monday morning quarterbacks now, they're making videos talking about how they never did trust the government, and this is that, and the other thing, and, it's all conspiracy, and take my word for it, watch what's going to happen. What about those people? Are you prepared? Are you prepared? If you saw this coming, and if you've never trusted the government, then surely you've positioned yourself suchly, right? Are you prepared? Okay, then. So what are you talking about? What are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? That's what I want to know. Me and mine, me and ours, we're all right. We're going to be all right because we're going to take care of each other. And you know why? Because I didn't just wake up this morning and find it's a whole new world. I knew all along that Big Brother, there was no nanny state that was going to take care of me. I've always known that. It's not news. So I've had a lifetime to, that if that's what I felt, to make sure I was self-sufficient. And it's true, nobody's ever taken care of me. Not really. I've had a lot of help, I'll say that, throughout my lifetime. You best believe those that helped me, that's never going to be forgotten. And I'd go to the wall for them. Literally to the wall. When I say that kind of shit, I'm one of those, and I'm not alone. And I mean it. I know what I'm saying. But I don't think it's going to be all that. Like I said, the big concern is if everybody's sick, nobody's working, nobody's turning the wheel. That's where all the huge problems can develop. So somebody has to have enough vision and foresight to say, hey, we need to do something now, maybe a little drastic, to hopefully avoid that scenario. Because if that happens, you think this is uncomfortable? If that shit happens, you take power away from any of these cities, and I will bet money, although money probably won't have any value then, what are you going to buy and who's going to take it? I will bet you, any of these cities, no power for 2 weeks, you're going to see a whole different side of that community. You're going to see the worst of everything come out. Because everybody's just pushed in there, consolidated, and congested all up together. People are going to get quite uncivil if that were to happen. Out here, not so much. And I'm not like on the edge of the world out here. I would like to be farther away. But don't think that I don't have, resources. Even then. But the whole point is from here, I'm going to see what happens. Because it's going to happen in a lot of other places long before it would get to here. If it were to really go south, really go sideways. So that's basically all I have to say about it. I don't care to be sick at all with a cold, with the flu, or with this COVID-19 shit, which is a complete unknown to me. And, and with even the police departments now aren't able to handle everything that they would normally handle, that's kind of becoming, and that's something that you should probably be more concerned about than whether or not you can go to the bar. And then New Jersey's governor, governor there, just per executive order, shut down what what is it called? The NICS system? The NICS? NICS? And so that means, now I'm not sure I believe law enforcement has alternative avenues, but that system is for tracking background checks. And I know for certain that by him doing that, that means no more firearm or ammunition sales in New Jersey, whether it be from a retailer or private. No legal sales now. So why would he do that? Why would he have an executive order to shut down, suspend that NICS system? Unless that were the primary objective, to stop the gun sales, to stop the ammo sales. Kind of like closing the gate after the horse is already out, ain't it? I don't know. And then conversely, in Illinois, land of Lincoln, Illinois, by the way, if I'm not wrong, mistaken, brain's getting old, Illinois is one of the 3 states that are actually basically on lockdown. They're not really lockdown, but that they have, that by law, they want everybody, stop. They've shut the state down as far as movement and things like that. Every place else has been suggested, but there, I believe, they can take legal action as far as they could ticket you or fine you or whatever have you. At the same time, the governor there, he passed an executive order, or signed an executive order, that dictates that retailers that sell firearms and ammunition remain open because he considers them essential. So what does that say? Complete opposite of the perspective the governor of New Jersey's demonstrated. And yet Illinois is one of the 3 that are on lockdown. Being New York, Washington State, and I think it's Illinois. So if that governor has his state locked down, his motivations are honest, and that he really does care about the people, and he thinks it's the thing to do, because clearly he's shown that by virtue of the executive order that he thinks that firearms and ammunition are essential and that they need to stay available. So why would that be? Why would somebody feel you need that? Why would somebody feel you need that? Why would somebody feel that we need to stop that? Again, I'm not going to be, contributing my conjecture. Leave it to other people because I don't know enough about on any of it. But those things are enough to make somebody sit up and go, interesting. So I think it's all these things that are enveloping, all these things that are developing now, due to the fact that this virus has become a huge issue. I think those things are more interesting, maybe, than the virus itself, how lethal it is or isn't. So, to me, I think that's what it comes down to. You got to keep that hamster wheel going. We don't really want to spread the shit anyway. You don't want to be responsible for the hospitalization of potential loss of life to those in our society that are at the weakest points in their lives, are the most susceptible to something like this. And common sense seems to be a fleeting thing in these times here in our country, unfortunately. So it is what it is. Anyway, that's where everything's at. I'm okay. Like I said, I kept myself busy. I had great weather until today. Nice weather, hot. Rode my bike Saturday and yesterday, Sunday. Engine's done, all dialed in, all the new parts, everything's working in harmony. Got it fired up and running great. Still got to do the paint. That isn't going to take a whole lot of time. It'll take about a week to paint it from start to finish. That's not all painting. That's leaving it sit and sanding and painting more, etc., etc. But I dug a pretty deep hole, basically, out front for a septic system that's for the dog. When the dog is in the container, the only area that dog can be contained is out front, where it's picket fence surrounding our little front yard there. And of course the dog shit has to be cleaned up down there. But out in the woods it would be cool, but she can't just run here free. Because she's not, she has a few issues. As you know, I guess she was adoption, and she was out of chances. They were going to put her down. And they literally said, we can bring her to you, beeline straight to you. Because if she goes back to the shelter, she's going down. This has been her last chance. So, of course, we couldn't turn it down. And she's been a great dog. She still has issues, but she doesn't deserve to be, killed. Awesome dog. Good watchdog. Everybody's useful. Everybody's good at something. So I put that in. No small feat, because this is mountainous terrain here. Lots of rock. And there's a burn barrel over here. Burned a whole lot of hubris and leaves and pine needles and crap that's fallen all over this concrete here, where all the stonework is, this outdoor hearth, this area here. And and I cut down a whole bunch of weeds and overgrowth out front and all to beautify it up a little bit and get ready for the spring. So I've been busy. And I know that can't get into the gyms. I mean, I can still get into a gym, but I'm grateful to have the time off. Like I said, there's shit I need to do. And there's a lot to be said, health-wise, for fresh air and sunshine. Literally, there is. It's antiseptic. You don't believe me? Google it. Read up on it. And that's what all this is for anyway, right? That's what all this is for. I'm a workhorse, man. Clydesdale. That's what it's for. Why did you build that physique you got? Why do you care about all that? Is it all just superficial for appearance sake? No, it's functional, right? All right, so you can't get to the gym? Go outside, man. If you got some property or you're a homeowner or whatever have you, maybe there's things that you could do around the house that you've been putting off or you haven't had time to do. You know, if you got some downtime now, make good use of it. That'd be my recommendation. Anyway, I just wanted to get something up real quick. I've kind of just been, you know, as a trained observer, though it's been a long, long time, I've kind of just been observing and checking things out and seeing where the wind seems to be shifting on this thing, what seems to be developing, what I really need to pay attention to, as much as I can learn. And, you know, it is what it is. It's not that bad. I don't think it is. You know, if you're caught up in the city or something, somewhere, you might be feeling pretty boxed in about now. I don't know. But Godspeed. Hopefully everybody's healthy. And if you're not, again, you know, hopefully best wishes to you and yours, and that everybody makes it out of this in one piece.